Update 3 on Typhoon Fitow now, up to wind speeds of 75 miles per hour, that's typhoon intensity, with a pressure of 974 millibars. Currently a Category 1 cyclone. Current position is 21.1 degrees north, 129.5 degrees east right now. Expected to move towards the northwest initially, passing through the Japanese Ryukyu Island chain and then towards China, towards the eastern coast, where it may make landfall as a strong tropical storm before weakening and eventually dissipating along the eastern coast of China there. So we could be seeing a peak as a Category 2 storm in the next few days as it nears those islands. Gale advisories in effect right now for the Miyakojima and Okinawa Islands, as well as parts of Kyushu in the southern mainland of Japan as well. Strong wind advisories in effect for parts of Taiwan, mainly the northern half, and blue typhoon warnings in effect for the coast of China already in anticipation of the storm. So the probability percentages of tropical storm conditions in the next 96 hours as follows. As you can see here, along the island chain there, the Miyako and the Okinawa Islands in particular, with the highest chances of tropical storm conditions. Same too to typhoon probabilities as well. Probably not very likely to see typhoon conditions unless the storm moves towards one of those islands, but at the moment the forecast is calling for it to pass in between the two, meaning that the worst of the storm will probably not affect any region until it reaches China. Sea surface temperatures right now fairly high, around 28 to 29 degrees, maybe even one or two pockets of 30 degrees Celsius waters in the area, but certainly enough for the storm to develop and continue to intensify over the next few days to reach its peak, possibly as a Category 2 storm. Now this is interesting what the models are saying right now. The CMC first of all calling for Fitow to make landfall in Taiwan, as a matter of fact, passing through the Yayama Islands and then into Taiwan and then to the South China Sea eventually, with many other storms forming behind it. The GFS model is somewhat similar, a little bit more towards the north, towards the official forecast, passing through Miyako Island and then eventually making landfall in China south of Shanghai, which is rather interesting to see as well. Certainly not what the official forecast is calling for at the moment, with another very strong storm at the very end of that run there according to the GFS model. The latest satellite imagery then has the storm moving slowly towards the north. You can see its eye trying to form, looking fairly ragged at the moment, which is pretty much typical of what you see with minimal typhoons, but it is one now, the first time it's become a typhoon at this update here. But you can see some intense rainfall occurring mainly towards the northwestern side of the storm at the moment, less so towards the southeast, not too much there at all at the moment, but it is wrapping around the storm right now, so we could be seeing some more intensification on the way if it wraps up itself completely with all that intense rainfall that's occurring around the storm. Obviously winds of 75 miles per hour right now, higher gusts, and they could cause some damaging winds if it does move towards any of those islands and make any close approaches to them indeed. So right now then, the world is fairly busy as a matter of fact. Invest 93E, currently located in the eastern Pacific. Tropical storm Karen has formed in the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico. It could be a problem for the Gulf Coast of the United States. Tropical depression Jerry, which has just weakened now as it moves towards the Azores. Invest 99A in the North Indian Ocean. And of course the western Pacific situation, then Typhoon Fitow, which is moving towards the north right now. Tropical Depression 23W, which has just formed not too far from the Mariana Islands, and Invest 99W, which is located far towards the east, not too far from the international dateline, another one that could develop too. So we're up to 19 tropical storms in 2013, that's 65th busiest on record. 10 typhoons right now, so we're into double figures with typhoons, and 3 of which reach Category 3 intensity. It doesn't appear that Fitow will reach Category 3 intensity and become the 4th storm to do that, although earlier forecast did call for that, but it looks increasingly unlikely now that we'll see the 4th Category 3 storm come out of Fitow. So this is what it looks like on the website right now. That will keep you up to date in between videos on this storm in particular. Just visit the Western Pacific page on the website. To get to the main storm tracking page, visit force13.com/stormtracking.html. There you're presented with the current situation around the world, showing all the storms that are currently active, including invest and post-tropical storms, with tables at the top and bottom showing their intensities and indeed any warnings that are currently in effect. We have quite a few warnings right now in effect for Japan, Taiwan and China at the moment with this storm, but of course we have other warnings around the world too. The Gulf Coast of the United States looking at some hurricane watches in effect right now over there. An video update coming up on that very shortly indeed, but right now this is the current situation with Fitow. You can also find it elsewhere on the web. Facebook and Twitter, just search Force13 on either of those, and as always, please do show your support by doing the usual means of engagement, liking, subscribing, commenting, favouriting, following, or indeed anything else that comes to mind. And if you have any questions about the current storm, or indeed anything in particular to do with tropical cyclones, then do send me a message and I'll try my best to reply and come up with an answer if it's a if it's a good question, as the case may be. The next update on this storm Fitow will probably come up tomorrow in a video update about 3 PM UTC. That'll be Friday the 4th of October, but until then, make sure you keep up to date on the website. That's where we'll have the latest information. But until then, that's all for now.